Hey guys, what's going on? We're back here with another PvP video, but this time we're back in the 3 session and we're doing some Turbo Cleave. Turbo Cleave is right now probably not the best comp to run, but it's really our only one. Anyways, I'm on the Enhanced Shaman, Marcellus is on his Fury Warrior, and Shuk is on his Holy Paladin. And throughout this video, actually halfway through the video, I switched to the Elementalist build because I wanted to see if the damage output is better. Even though they are buffing Storm Strike, I just feel like the Elementalist might actually be pulling ahead. Especially if you can have at least 2 or 3 Flame Shocks up at all times, then I think your damage is just going to go through the roof. Lavalash just hits so hard when you get a hot hand proc and everything, whereas this you're solely relying on Storm Strike, and you need lots and lots of procs. But on to the match. We're fighting Shadow Priest, Frost Mage, and Resto Shaman here. We're focusing down the Frost Mage because we want to prevent the polymorph spams on our healer. And it also, I find Shadow Priests aren't doing as much damage as they used to. I don't know if that's just the MMR we're at, but they also have a bit better defensives where Mage, they do have their technically 2 invulnerabilities where they Ice Block, Cold Snap, Ice Block again. But Shadow Priests have a minute and a half cooldown, which is Disperse, and they can use it in stuns. So it's very difficult to catch them off guard in a sense. Whereas a Mage, if you get through the 2 Ice Blocks, you have a 5-minute window to kill them. And it's a bit easier than trying to kill a Shadow Priest in the minute and a half window where you have a mage constantly polying you or polying your healer and forcing him to back off. But yeah, as you can see, as soon as he ice blocks, we switch to Shadow Priest. As soon as he comes out of that ice block, we're back on the mage. And that's the sole play of Turbo, is constantly swapping and hitting like a nearby target or swapping on their defensives. Very key. Because it's such a fast-paced comp, we're still trying to work on that, but we should have swapped to the Shadow Priest when he blinked and then work our way to the mage. It's definitely a difficult comp to play in this season, I think. Not necessarily difficult, but it's not powerful enough because you lack that amount of CP. But yeah, you saw the mage go down. Once we get like if you can stay on top of the mage and get ahead of his blinks and stuff, you're gonna be just fine, just locking him down. But on to this match, which is Ret Pally, Arms Warrior, Resto Shaman. These guys we fought like 3 or 4 times, and this is the only time we beat them, which I think was a stroke of luck. I was able to get a nice hex. I also thought I had Counter-Strike Totem there, so I tried to pull it out, but I had Ride the Lightning instead. But you can see I tried to use my Feral Lunge, especially when fighting a Shaman, to get to that totem. And if I don't have that, I'll usually send like 10 Maelstrom Lightning Bolt or something at it just to make sure it's dead. Because that is 90% of their healing in burst scenarios. As you can see, he just missed the link. So we got pretty lucky there. Rip Pally and Arms Warrior are probably one of the more difficult but still winnable matches. Windwalker Monk. Uh, we've been seeing a lot of Windwalkers lately, and their damage output has been looking like insane. Like, I don't know what happened, but they are very popular now, and their damage is just through the roof. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, Windwalker, Marksman, and Preservation. Uh, Trying to kick a Preservation Dragon is very difficult in my opinion. I don't know why I didn't kick that right in front of my face. But anyways, um, when they're doing their charge up stuff, It's really weird to try and kick that. Like, sometimes I really feel like I got it, but it still goes off and they get their thing, and it's like, well, that's just weird. So, I don't know. Um, but running Purge, like, using Purge against them removes a lot of their useful thing, which, pardon me, I'm not sure what it is called, but it's something that reverts damage, and you can Purge that off, and it's usually like their top heal. It's really good to spam Purge. As you can see, I'm not doing that because I'm not a very good player. But also try and keep your healing stream totem down at all times. It is quite a lot of healing. You wouldn't think it, but it is doing a lot of healing. Oh, also I'm running Elementalist right now. Uh I usually run it into double melee, but as I said at the start of the video, I'm trying to see if it's pulling ahead in general because of the recent changes to Ascendants. But it is doing quite a lot of damage. As you can see, I had 3 Flame Shocks up for the most part, and I was just trucking them down. Onto Arcane Mage, Discipline, Ret Pally. This one, not a very common comp, I don't think. This is the first time I'm seeing it. Uh, Honestly, train the mage down as much as you can. He's only got one school to cast from, so if you kick something, he's locked out of everything, pretty much. But I focus my kick on the priest just to reduce the healing amount because Marcellus is going to be focusing on kicking the mage as much as possible. I probably should have been kicking the mage, but we find we've been overlapping and giving them precog and stuff, so we try not to kick the same target because it's not good to run into precog overlaps. Definitely very dangerous to pull off. But the mage tries to pull us around a pillar. As you see, I jump behind it so he can't attack us, and then he has to walk out into the open more. So if you ever see a mage trying to pull you around and you can't catch him, just walk behind the wall, force them to come around the corner, and it'll usually work out. But with the lack of CC that we have, we only have like Shockwave and Stormbolt to really lock somebody down. So it's very difficult. But using Static Cling Totem, you can pull people in from quite a ways away. It's just not very reliable, to be honest. I believe mages can like glitch it or something with alter. No, not alter time. Like doing a double blink or something. I'm not sure, but they get out of it a lot. Same with warriors. They get out of it a lot too. So I'm not sure what triggers it, but it does bug out. But yeah, as you see, I should be running regular purge here because when you're dealing with a paladin, you have to deal with bops and freedoms, which are very important to get off. And if you're running greater purge, you can't quite spam it, so it's very difficult. Also, dealing with an arcane mage itself, you want to be purging constantly because they have a lot more shields, I find, than the other 2 specs. Like they have temporal and they also have alter time as well. So it's really, really important to get those off. But yeah, the priest went in for a fear, but I don't know if it went off. But you can see Shuk's out of mana and the priest still has like 80%. And the Ret Pally is just doing so much damage to us, whereas the Arcane Mage is kind of doing small bursts. So it's kind of a weird damage output that they're able to do this much. As you can see, my healing is very low because I'm not keeping healing stream down. Holy crap, that guy just fell over. I didn't realize that. I came close to a 1-1 trade-off, but able to keep myself alive. That's because of Storm Reaver. Very useful PvP talent. When you spend your Maelstrom, you get it back to use on a heal. Very good. That's what I've been using with Elementalist. And on to the last match of the video, which is Hero Cleave. this is where you'll see Elementalist shine. You'll just see the amount of damage. There's not much to really worry about. Just make sure you use your cooldowns or your defensives as the DK is blowing up. They do a significant amount of damage, as you'll see. But you can see the damage meters, and I'm just funneling everything into this Death Knight. He's just taking all the damage. And there he goes. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you're enjoying the commentary. And yeah, it's been great seeing the positive comments. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.